Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Friday's Market up here at TGO Top Gun Options. I'm Wiz, Matthew Buckley, and hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I had all my ducks home, so had a great time yesterday. And today, season's beatings. Black Friday brawls, shots fired at the Galleria. God bless you if you're shopping today, man. I just don't know how people do it. We are having a great Friday here at Top Gun Options. We put on a FXI, that's the China, that's the iShares China ETF. We put on a weekly trade. So this was Monday afternoon in our weekly options brief. We took a look at the 41.5 bear call spread. We were looking at a credit of 18 or 19 cents, and this was risking $4,800 to make $2,700. So a nice risk to reward ratio. So there's your Black Friday gift from TGO. This trade's looking to make $2,700. There's FXI right now. It's all the way down here at 40.50. As I predicted, FXI was going to go lower this week, and it did. We had a really good trade on Monday. I was going to look to get out of it. Thought about getting out of it on Tuesday. One-day profit. We were in our primary live trade brief on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and this trade was up $1,800, 66% in a day. And I said, let's get another day of theta on Thursday because the market's closed. We only got a half a day of trading on Friday, and I think we're not going to see any good news out of China or the Trump administration with respect to China or the trade war over Thanksgiving. And we were right. So good-looking trade. Hopefully everybody's enjoying that $2,700. Remember, folks, if you want to take a test flight into what we do here at TGO, first of all, check your email. We sent out a Black Friday special to folks who aren't currently members with a great deal. But if you don't take that, which you'd be foolish not to take the Black Friday deal, come take a 7-day test flight. Next week's going to be very, very interesting. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/go-flight. And for $38, you can take a test flight for 7 days. Because, guys, this is what did I say last week? Well, what I've been saying all along here, folks, I said sell into this rip your face off rally. This is not the recovery. This is not the all clear. We're going to head lower, and we're going to test the October lows. And today, now, mind you, this is low volume. Today's a low volume day. If you are an institutional trader on the desk, you're one of the most junior people, and you were ordered not to do anything. So, yeah, the Dow was down 150. It's only down about 60, 70 right now. So not a super bad day, but got to be honest with you, we broke the October. If we close where we are right now, we will have broken these October lows, and that might be a look out below, folks. And what are the overhangs? Well, the good news today was supposed to be what? I said the 3 Fs recently. Friday, fight, and Fed. Friday is today. It's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the stuff going on here. We'll see if the retailers can kind of pull us out of these doldrums, right? Can the retailer save us, or you, or me? Right? I'm not going shopping today. You're not. I think I'm going to the Boca Resort and watching the tree lighting at 6. That's about the extent of me spending money today. And then Cyber Monday. We'll see about Cyber Monday and if retail can pull us out of here. The other F was fight. Maybe even a physical fight someday with China. The president flew a couple B-52s over contested waters in the South China Sea near the Spratlys. I've sailed through this area, folks, on the Abraham Lincoln and the Kitty Hawk. So I've been in the area. I've flown in the area. And, so the military tensions aren't super great. The trade tensions aren't super great. Last week, Vice President Pence went to earlier this week, the Vice President went to the APEC summit, and they couldn't even agree to issue a joint statement at the end of it. It was in PNG, Papua New Guinea. Nothing. They agreed on nothing. Vice President Pence and President Xi Jinping publicly sparred. It was brutal. I don't know if the president and Pence briefed, hey, let's play good cop, bad cop, but if they did, good on them, it's working. If they didn't, we're in trouble. Because there's a lot going on. There's 3 scenarios here. Full-blown trade war, a new status quo, or we get a trade deal. If this is truly about trade, don't worry about it. The president will get it done. He's a negotiator. He loves deals. He's a deal maker. That's one of the reasons I voted for him. I knew what I was getting. New York real estate developer. He ain't used to dealing with the Girl Scouts, guys. Girl Scouts don't pour concrete in New York City, because that's one of the biggest overhangs of this market. He gets a trade deal done. This market is a coiled spring, and we will see a rip your face off rally that makes 2017 look like a bear market. I guarantee it. I predicted Trump would be elected. I predicted after he gets elected, the market would rally. And I predicted all the tech stocks would absolutely implode under the weight of their own liberal hypocrisy and hubris. And I got that right, too. I'm going to tell you. But if it's not about a trade deal, if it's not about trade, folks, if it is about containing China, which Barack Hussein Obama didn't do under his stewardship or under the Manchurian candidate, Barack Hussein Obama, China expanded its borders 600 miles into the middle of the Pacific, according to them. Trump doesn't recognize that. So if it's about containing China, get ready for a long, cold trade war here, and it's going to be ugly. But you know as well as I do, Donald J. Trump loved owning this market on the way up. You think that dude wants to own this on the way down? We have a double top, we got a double bottom, and I think we go lower, folks. I absolutely think we go lower. I mean, he's getting helped out right now by oil a little bit. Oil prices just plunge on what? Global growth concerns. So, yeah, the other day he sent out a tweet, probably not the most perfectly timed tweet, kissing Saudi Arabia's ass after liberals in the media are still frothing at the mouth over a non-U.S. citizen. He ain't a journalist, folks. If writing a couple op-eds for the Washington Post considers you a journalist, I need to win a Pulitzer. I ran the Options News Network. I've written articles. I'm more of a journalist than that guy was, and he wasn't a U.S. citizen, and liberals faces are melting. Let me remind idiots out there. 15 Saudi Arabian citizens killed, like that hit squad was 15 people. 15 Saudi Arabians killed 3,000 Americans. Right? 3,000 Americans killed by 15 Saudi Arabians. Liberals at the time? Horror. Did you hear him destroy Saudi Arabia, break all relations, it's the end of the world? Nope. They kill a quote-unquote journalist who supports the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda, not a U.S. citizen, and they're frothing at the mouth that the president needs to, and, essentially, they're not telling the president what he should do. They're just ripping him to shreds over it. Grow up. Christ almighty, man, a year ago, Donald Trump's going to kill us all in North Korea. He's going to get us into a nuclear war. Then he makes peace with the guy and meets him. Oh my God, he's an idiot for meeting with a dictator. It's so stupid. I don't suffer fools easily, man. And there's a lot of stupid people in here. So stocks are sliding as oil prices tumble. Declining oil prices drag energy companies lower during a holiday shortened session today, folks. I am long, or in one of our ExxonMobil, out to January 2020. This ain't going to help these guys. So if you're not, and it broke this key level of support here, which is not good. Remember, though, the energy, you're one tweet away, you're one international incident, you're one Iranian general away from oil being up triple digits again. So extremely volatile trade here in oil. Remember, folks, the president, it's been a back burner news, right? We had Kavanaugh, we had the elections, we had just an absolute shit show of news. We reinstituted sanctions on Iran. They've been as quiet as a church mouse. I mean, they've sent out your random, hey, we're going to kill all Americans. And another, let me put a bow on the Saudi thing. Barack Hussein Obama flew hundreds of $millions of millions in unmarked airplanes in the middle of the night to the Iranian mullahs. Do you remember that? So, and liberals were silent. If you don't know, Iran has killed approximately 1,000 U.S. service personnel in Iraq and in Afghanistan. That's rough estimates according to the Pentagon. So they're frothing at the mouth over a quote-unquote journalist who's not a U.S. citizen, but 1,000 service personnel are killed by Iranians. No problem. Obama flies them money, but us getting money for a Saudi defense deal, bad. Orange man, bad. Just, I can't stand it. But guys, how worried should you be about a stock market sell-off? Well, if you trade options, not worried at all. Why? Because we can pound this thing into the dirt. If we don't hold these levels here, we're going to be doing bearish double verticals on the S&P 500 or bullish double verticals on SDS. We got some SDS calls this past week, right? We looked at SDS up. SDS is flat. What's VXX doing? We talked about volatility, how it can stay elevated, right? I believe the volatility is going to stay elevated going into the G20 summit. So now that we're putting Black Friday behind us, we got the G20 summit on the radar here. So how worried should you be if you trade options here at TGO, or you're learning? You shouldn't be too worried. Now, that's not to say our longs, some of our longs like a Jan 20 or Jan 21, aren't getting kicked in the teeth. But that's why that's why they're called longs, guys. They ain't shorts. One of the reasons you do long call diagonals or synthetic stock a couple years out is why. So they have time to recover if we have something like this go on. And you can make money selling what? Front month upside calls or bear call spreads. You can bring in some nice coin in the front months, even as the stock market is going down. Now, Bank of America, I think, listened to our briefs last week and said what? Bank of America, the triggers for a big Fed panic are forming. They're already here, man. I've predicted this. I said the Fred Sanford, the big one, the grab your chest, I'm coming, Elizabeth, will happen when the market wakes up that the Fed ain't going to either save capitalism, there is no Fed put under this market, or they can't. Years ago, Ben Bernanke sat in front of Congress, and he sounded like Scotty. He was like, hey, man, I'm quantitative easing and low interest rates. I'm giving you all I got, guys. You have to do something, Congress, Senate. They didn't do anything. So I warned you about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is one I want to be wrong about. I've been right about a couple huge things. 3 career calls I've nailed. Trump election, market rally, and the Fed implosion. I want to be wrong about this. If the market truly comes to the realization next month when the Fed raises interest rates that they're just ignoring this and really don't care about equities, it is look out below. You'll see Dow 12,000 and S&P 1,200. I'm telling you right now. So get ready for that, especially because, in interviews, the market whisperer, Larry Kudlow's getting hammered with, hey, when's the recession? So Trump, that's why I think initially the president wanted to contain China, right? But now it's turning into, holy crap, man. I tweeted almost on a daily basis about how great I am making stocks go up. And now people's 401ks are a 201k. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. So Goldman, hey, for 2019, raise cash, get defensive, and look out below if more tariffs happen. Not only if more tariffs happen, but if the Fed doesn't step in to save capitalism. Let me be clear. I don't want them to. What are you, a jerk, Wiz? No, I'm not. I'm an American. I'm a capitalist. Markets, companies, things need to fail, man. Not everybody gets a effing trophy. Ben Bernanke doing what he did, or Hank Paulson, the Treasury Secretary under beer-drinking, cocaine-snorting George Bush, he jumped in to save capitalism. It needed to fail, guys. Now you have the rise of socialism because people are running around saying capitalism bad. It's crazy. The Dow may drop another 2,000 points before the stock market selling is done. I could not agree more. I'm not a CFO. I've had a bunch of CFOs. I agree with that survey. And the techs are going lower, man. Just an absolute shit show the past couple days, especially with Facebook. Last week, Mark Zuckerberg throwing Sheryl Sandberg under the bus and taking zero responsibility for everything that's going on, pinning it all on her. And then 2 days ago, giving her public kisses and saying she's the greatest woman in the world. Facebook can cause depression, and it's awful. And then speaking of depression, look at that lady. Maxine Waters, the head of the incoming head of the Finance Committee in the House, subpoenas, impeachment, this and that. So I got to be honest with you, folks. I'm bearish. I will reiterate my strategic mindset. I'm bearish. Doesn't mean you can't make money. You have to roll inverted. Take this chart right here. You see this going up and this going down? Roll it upside down. This going down and this going up. You have to shift your mindset, guys. And as an options trader, you can do that. You can shift your mindset when presented with new information. Colin Powell said that. Never get too close to your position that when presented with new evidence, you cling to it and get killed. You can. So I believe we go lower. I wouldn't take today. That's why next week is super important. Next week's super important. If you're on our email list and you're not currently a member, check it. Get your Black Friday deal. If you don't or you missed it, head to go.topgunoptions.com/goflight. Next week's a huge week for this market. Huge. Nobody does huge better than this market, and next week's going to be huge. If we don't hold these October lows, it's look out below to the February lows, okay? And like I said, you shouldn't be panicked, right? If you're if you're long stock, you're screwed. You can be selling some upside calls to make a little coin, but as an options trader, we love velocity, we love direction, we love volatility. Now that we got a direction, guys, it's going to be good for us. Target rich environment. Remember, markets take an escalator up and they took the window down recently. They weren't going. This was bullshit. They weren't. The market was not going to take an elevator back up to here and keep going. If you thought that, I feel bad for you. You really need to be here at TGO. We knew. I said, hey, we have to, at a minimum, retest the 200. If we don't hold the 200 and break it with airspeed, it's the October lows. And now I'm saying it again. If we don't hold these October lows, it's February. There ain't too much bullishness going on, folks. The only thing that can maybe save us is the season's beating. So going to be interesting. Like I said, not super pleasant if you're on the wrong side of this, but we're on the right side of it. Like I said, we had a really good weekly options trade on China, being bearish on China. How'd the EWZ doing? EWZ, good. Yep, kind of hanging in a range here, as we said. It's time to iron condor the hell out of the EWZ. I'm actually having dinner tonight with a good Brazilian friend of mine. She used to date kind of their new, their incoming finance, their Steve Mnuchin, their kind of treasury secretary. So I'm gonna pick her brain for intelligence today. She was an attorney down in Brazil, dated this guy. They were kind of a power couple. So I'm gonna get some nice scoop on what she sees down in Brazil. So all right, guys, sorry I went a little bit long, but Friday market wrap up. It was a huge week. Hopefully you had a great and a blessed Thanksgiving, and we're gonna be looking forward to a very, very interesting December with the meeting of President Xi Jinping and Trump on the the 1st of December, and then all the way out in the middle. It seems like a lifetime away, the middle of December with the Fed meeting. I think they're one and done. I think they raise it just to say, you know, we're the sheriff, but they got to be done. If they're not done, the market's done. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see you Monday.